In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about static remarketing. And as I said before, static remarketing is the little brother of dynamic remarketing. And if you for some reasons can't make the dynamic remarketing work, let me take you through what is possible and what is different from static remarketing. The basics are the same. You reach people that have been to your website. But the main differences with dynamic remarketing are that the setup is easier. You just need to make a couple of small tweaks to your tracking code. You're going to run static ads. And what I mean static ads is these are ads that won't change. So you will select an audience and create an ad, and then everybody in that audience will see the same ads. While with dynamic remarketing, everybody's ad actually will be different depending on the products they were looking at on your website. And static remarketing also allows you to target different kinds of audiences. So what kind of audiences? Well, in static remarketing, you're able to use Google Analytics as compared to Google Ads. And in Google Analytics allows you to get a lot more creative with your audiences. So the same is true for audiences in Google Ads. You need a minimum of 100 visitors. But then in Google Analytics, you can do cool stuff. As I said, if you don't have a big audience, you will just create one audience to start with called all users. Then you might move on to people that have seen a specific product page, people that have seen certain categories, have visited the checkout but haven't really bought anything. I use this often. And then I see that the people that do convert or the visitors that do buy from my store, how long do they stay on average in the store? Or how many pages have they looked at? So then I will take those visitors that have, for example, let's say on average people see 8 pages per session when they're purchasing, or when they're purchasing they're staying 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So we'll take these two numbers. So for example, somebody stays on the website for 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and if they haven't bought something, I will put them in an audience, because the chances of them buying then are a lot higher compared to the other ones. So these are great audiences to target if you have enough people. You can also use an email list, but you will need a minimum of 1,000 emails to make this work. So if we're going to use Google Analytics as our base to build the audiences on, we first need to make a couple of changes to the setup. We're going to do that in property. And then here you need to make sure that you've enabled demographics and interest reports. So that's right here. And then you hit save. Another thing we need to enable is also on the property level. Go tracking info, we choose here data collection, and we enable the remarketing. And that will automatically turn this one on as well. So we hit save. Okay. Also the success warning. Okay, now we're actually ready to start creating audiences. So what we'll do is we'll first create the audiences, and then we will create a campaign for them. So audience definitions. Here it's going to say audiences. Okay, so this is creating your first audience. Enable remarketing. That's what we did. Next step, by default, it will actually choose, say, all users. So this is your first audience that you set up in Google Analytics will always be this one. And then you have to choose the audience destinations. Well, I'm going to use that here in Google Ads. Let me also put this here. Okay, so we're going to use that in 2 places. So we hit OK. And here you can see it's linked to these 2 places. So I'm going to hit enable. Okay, and that's giving us the notification that it's been created. So as you can see here, all users, it's available in Google Ads and Analytics. So we can create a new audience. So let's say we want to reach people that have visited at the checkout. We can use different segments that we've actually defined in Google Analytics if you have used those before, or we can create a new one. So let me say visited it's this, users who visit a specific section of my site. Click that one. Here you can see if I just say all the people on my site in the last 7 days, I have about 93 people. So here I can actually change this, and I'm gonna do checkout. See, it will automatically tell me all the people that have started checkout. But I just want to have people that where it contains checkout. So I will have everybody there. I'm gonna hit OK, and I only have like one person. So here started checkout. Like this. Also gonna send that to all audiences. Okay, hit publish. And there, I have another audience. And like that, you can actually customize all of those different audiences that I told you about. Best to, if you're just getting started or you don't have a lot of visitors yet, just start with a couple of pretty broad ones and then go more narrow as you see that certain categories or certain groups of people do better than others. So if we then go to Apes in Space again, to our audiences, because Google Analytics and Google Ads are linked, they should start showing up here. Okay, data source. Okay, we're only seeing audiences from Google Ads, so remove that one. Okay, so here you can see the all users. This is coming from Google Analytics. And started checkout. This is also the one coming from there. So as you can see, there's no one in the audience yet, and that means that's because it only starts counting from right now. So now if somebody visits, they will slowly be added to the list. Now let's set up a campaign based on those audiences. So I'm gonna do exactly the same. The process is gonna be very similar to what I did for the dynamic remarketing. Display. Actually, the only difference between the two is the setup. As I said, you don't need to make that many changes to your Google Analytics to make that work. United States, okay. Again, I'm gonna set them to exactly the same values. Also have a budget of 5. Here, additional settings. Okay. Here, I'm gonna choose, for example, no, I will do the all users as I set up. The targeting, I will do no automatic targeting. The bid, I will set it to 30 cents as well. Here, I'm not gonna use a data feed because remember that we don't have this set up. So, I'm gonna create a new ad. And then actually we do exactly the same as we did in our dynamic remarketing campaign, and we just fill in the values for our campaign. So I'm gonna choose the ones that I've used before. Yeah, use this one. Image, square as well. Continue. I'm going to use this one as well. Image. Okay. So there's a lot of values that you can fill in. You can set up multiple headlines, and Google Ads will actually test all the ones. Now, pick your favorite from 200 plus space boosters. Free shipping on all orders. Have to edit here a little bit. Okay. So as you can see, sometimes it will look like a regular text ad, but sometimes it will also look like an actual image. As you can see, I'm just making some edits. I'd have to, if I really was gonna set up this campaign, I'd have to think a little bit longer to make sure that the copy really matches what I'm trying to do. But also remember that people will see this while they are browsing other websites or while they're browsing on YouTube. So it also has to grab their attention. They might already know you, or they might recognize the images that you use, but you will also have to grab their attention. Okay. So if add URL, more options. Okay, here I'm also going to change the call to action text to be shop now instead of visit site. I'm going to click add to ad group. Please correct one error. Okay, I still have to put in a URL. Of course, that's an important one. Okay, I'm going to click add to ad group. There you go. Hit create campaign. Campaign name, static remarketing US. Okay. And we are done. Create campaign. Will give us a small overview. Created today, United States, standard 5-a-day manual CPC with one ad. You can see all the extra information. There you go. That will also get the campaign running.